Welcome back to HistoriaHigh's Exploration and Colonization series. In this episode, we're going to explore the often overlooked system of indentured servitude that played a significant role in the development of the American colonies. Join us as we delve into the harsh realities of life as an indentured servant and examine how this system contributed to the growth of the colonies, paving the way for the arrival of African slaves. Indentured servitude. In the early days of the American colonies, there was a great demand for labor. The colonists needed workers to clear the land, plant crops, and build their settlements. But they faced a problem. They couldn't find enough people to do the work. That's where indentured servitude came in. Indentured servitude was a form of labor that was common in the American colonies in the 17th and 18th centuries. It was a way for people to pay for their passage to America by working for a period of years for someone who paid for their passage. Indentured servants were sold at auctions to the highest bidder. They were usually young, poor, and often came from England or Ireland. They signed a contract, or an indenture, agreeing to work for a period of 4 to 7 years in exchange for their passage to America. The indenture contract. The term indentured refers to the way the contract was written. It was drawn up on a sheet of paper, which was then cut in half with jagged edges, or indented, to create a matching pair. Each party kept one half of the contract, and the two halves could be brought together to prove that the agreement had been made. Life as an indentured servant. Life as an indentured servant was hard. They had to work long hours, 6 days a week, doing whatever their master told them to do. They were often treated poorly, with little food and harsh living conditions. Many indentured servants died before their contract was up. Indentured servants had no legal rights and could be punished harshly for disobedience or running away. Their masters had complete control over them, including the power to extend their contracts if they felt like it. The end of indentured servitude. Indentured servitude began to decline in the late 1700s. There were several reasons for this. One was the increasing availability of cheap labor from Africa in the form of slavery. Another was the fact that many indentured servants were unhappy with their treatment and started to rebel. The rebellion of indentured servants culminated in Bacon's Rebellion in 1676. Led by Nathaniel Bacon, a wealthy planter, the rebellion was a protest against the colonial government's refusal to allow settlers to expand westward. The rebellion was put down, but it led to a change in the way labor was viewed in the colonies. Key takeaways. Indentured servitude was an important part of the early American colonies, but it was also a harsh and often brutal system. It paved the way for the arrival of African slaves and ultimately played a role in the development of the United States as a nation. Thanks for watching this episode of HistoriaHigh's Exploration and Colonization series, where we discover the past to understand the present.